I present for you A Tale of Two Premiers. In our first story, I finally get around to mentioning that Canada's favorite premier, Wob Can Do, recently apologized for an ethics violation. What was this horrible, awful ethics violation? He got a ride to a football game, and he forgot to tell the ethics commissioner about it. Canoe apologized like a grown up, saying it didn't occur to him that he'd need to advise the ethics commissioner of his use of the charter given that he'd paid for the trips. However, under the Conflict of Interest Act, any non commercial flights need to be formally approved by the commissioner. This, right now, by Manitoba standards, is a scandal. Are you jealous, rest of Canada? I feel like most Canadians would gladly double their property taxes if it meant that they could have a premier that was capable of apologizing and not position any criticism of them as an attack on free speech, the oil and gas industry, or all of Ontario. Blah, 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 blah. On the other end of the list of premiers and how people feel about them is Danielle Sith, Canada's least favorite premier. Shocking, I know. Dan Mall, when recently asked not to be a backstabbing Bernadette Arnold, responded by saying, "Oh wait, do we have the audio? Yes, this is definitely her real audio."
I will not be silent. Alberta will not be silent. We will not be pushed around and called traitors for merely having the courage to actually do something about our nation and province's predicament, other than merely indulging in self-righteous tantrums. Until this danger to Alberta and our economy is past, they're going to have to roll me off in a stretcher before I will stop fighting for this province and our people. Alberta, I'm fucking over your fathers.
Now, Dan Mall did manage to use her Sith mind tricks to get me to spend way too much time watching stretcher fail videos online. I was specifically looking for a stretcher rolling off of a cliff, because I don't know if she realizes this, but generally you are rolled out in a stretcher, not off. But yes, we can all hope that at some point this malignant narcissist will be strapped down and rolled off into a psych ward where she can get the care she needs. And lastly, tantrums. Bitch, please. Side note, bitch, when used by gays, is a gender neutral term. Do not get at me in the comments with your heterosexist nonsense. The Oxford Dictionary defines tantrum as an uncontrolled outburst of anger and frustration, typically in a young child. Fun fact. The criticism that people have been levying against Danielle has generally been very controlled, and oftentimes, especially when delivered by me, very clever. But don't worry, Danielle, I understand your need to vilify your critics. I'm sure you feel much more comfortable viewing your detractors as children, in part because abusive women tend to feel most comfortable harming children, which probably explains why you continue your fucked up crusade against queer kids in your province. You pathetic, violent person.